Next in this category comes solvency after liquidity beta. Solvency 4 हैं, completely eliminated from current year, for current year only, okay, due to COVID-19. But theoretical knowledge of it we will get, right? Easy है, as their name suggests. Solvency 4, debt equity, total asset to debt, proprietary, interest coverage. One by one we will understand about them. Their name only suggests their working actually. First, debt equity. कौन से दो elements हैं? Debt and equity. Right. Now, it measures long-term financial position of the firm. It indicates the relationship between the loans and the shareholders fund. Debt को compare कर रहे हैं इसमें equity से. Indicates to what extent the firm depends on outsiders firm for its existence. ओके, आउटसाइडर के फंड के ऊपर कितना डिपेंड करती है अपने एग्जिस्टेंस के लिए, वो इसमें इंडिकेट होता है. आई होप दिस इज वेरी क्लियर. डेप्ट इक्विटी रेशियो. ओके, वेयर बाय डेप्ट मीन्स बोरोड फंड. डेप्ट मीन्स लॉन्ग टर्म लायबिलिटी बोरोड फ्रॉम, includes all debenture, long-term loan from bank, public deposits, long-term liabilities, long-term provisions. All these are included as debt. And if you check in further, equity here, owner's fund is included. What does equity means? Full shareholders fund, share fund. That is equity share capital plus preference share capital plus reserves and surpluses. Whatever accumulated profits are there minus accumulated losses if any. Okay, so equity plus preference plus reserves and surpluses. Please keep in mind, if any fictitious assets are given on the asset side of balance sheet, they are to be subtracted. That only gives us net owner's fund. Okay, so debt की भी meaning clear है. Debt means long term liabilities upon equity or owner's fund or equity will give you the result. Okay, in this way we find first solvency ratio, debt equity ratio. Normally it is indicated in the it indicates that the business unit is more dependent on borrowed capital or not. Okay, so ratio में इसको निकालते हैं, इसका फॉर्म proportion में इसका आंसर आता है. Normally its answer is in proportion. This is to this. Okay, so this was first debt equity. Let us go to next. Total asset to debt. Same. Name suggests how it will work और क्या component होंगे. Total assets upon debt. इस तरह का इसका formula है. It indicates to what extent the total assets are financed through long-term debts only. Please see, long-term debts are included at this stage and they are and total assets are divided by debt in this. Again, इसको हम लोग कैसे प्योर फॉर्म में या is to one, this is to this, इस तरह से हम लोग फाइंड करते हैं. Let us see. Total assets includes what? Total assets includes fixed assets as well as current. Fixed assets plus current assets are included as total assets, and these total assets are divided by the long term debt. So next वो भी हम लोग देखें. Next in this category long term, वही same long term debt कौन सा होता है पहले अभी देखा अपन ने. All in this are included. That is debentures, long-term loan, public deposits, all these are included. So total assets divided by debt, and it is available in proportion. This is to this. Now, here this ratio gives us the information about the economic solvency and the margin of safety to creditors. The higher the ratio, it shows that higher is the margin of safety and lower is the risk of the incident. So that is there reflected by this. Okay, so this we have covered solvency number 2. Now solvency with number 3. Proprietary. Proprietor means what? Proprietor shows the owner's ratio. Okay, it is ratio which indicates the relationship between proprietor's fund and total assets. Again, it describes that how much assets are financed through own capital. I mean to say, it is again showing the economic solvency of the firm. Margin of safety it shows कि अपने फंड में से कितने अपने एसेट्स हैं. Higher the ratio, better will be the long-term financial position of the firm. Components of it are just same, proprietor's fund and upon total assets. Formula ही वही है, owner's fund upon total assets. Proprietor funds means same, owner's fund. Equity plus preference plus reserves and surpluses. अगर profits है तो plus, accumulated losses है तो minus, और कोई भी fictitious assets है तो minus करेंगे. Owner's fund upon total assets. Total assets means non-current assets and plus current assets. Both are taken as the components. This divide by this. That will give you proprietary ratio. Economic solvency of the firm is shown. Last in this category comes interest coverage ratio. जैसा नाम है इसका. Ratio establishes the relationship between net profit, but which net profit? Before interest and tax, and interest on long-term borrowings. See, here the explanation itself says the ratio is taken, formula क्या होगा? Earning before interest and tax divide by interest on long-term debt. Okay, earning before interest and tax divided by interest on long-term debt. It shows how many times a firm can pay their interest on long-term borrowings out of its profit. Okay, it helps in the ability of firm to pay interest on long-term borrowing. Higher the ratio, better the position. Okay, trend is this. Okay, payment capacity of business is reflected with interest coverage. Okay, dear students, this way we have covered explanation and formula for solvency ratios. Now last is left out, efficiency ratio or activity ratio. Let us check this out also. Okay, dear students, last in the category of type of ratios, turnover ratios or efficiency ratios or activity ratios. See, turnover ratios are also termed as activity ratios or efficiency ratios. Here, they measure the efficiency of the firm or the company in generating revenues by converting its production into cash or sales. Here, higher turnover ratio means better utilization of assets, and significance also improvises efficiency, profitability is reflected. Let us check its chart. Which are the ratios or topics covered under this? Efficiency ratios, 4 types. All we will do practical. Okay, full included. First is inventory turnover or stock, famously known as stock turnover ratio. Stock turnover ratio. Next, trade receivable turnover or trade payable. Yeah, debtors turnover, creditors turnover. Receivables represents debtors. Payables represents creditors. Last but not least, working capital turnover ratio. Once again I am telling you, stock turnover, debtors turnover, creditors turnover, working capital turnover. These are the 4 ratios or topics covered. Let us start first, stock turnover. Here, this ratio naturally shows the relationship between cost of goods sold and average stock. Kitna simple hai? The ratio indicates the number of time the inventory has been or stock has been converted in during sales. Kitna rotation हुआ है, kitna times turn out हुआ है इसका. Cost of goods sold we know, opening stock plus purchases plus direct expenses minus closing stock gives you net sales, and sales minus GP is cost of goods sold. Sales minus GP. So this way you must know these basic formulas. Average stock तो सबको आता है. Opening plus closing divided by 2. Interpretation, what does it? The high ratio indicates efficiency performance. The too high may be the result of very low inventory level maintained in the firm, but too low may be result of excessive inventory maintained by the firm. Again, inventory is stock. If the ratio is high, it reflects that efficiency is more, but very high ratio will even show that every now and then we keep on buying and selling. So low stock level is maintained. But very low also shows that we keep high inventory level in the firm. Okay, so this way these are there. Practical of it we will definitely do. So let us check out. Cost of goods sold means opening stock plus purchases minus purchase return plus direct expenses, carriage inward, wages minus closing stock or direct. Next is जो पहले भी डिस्कस किया, net sales, that is cost of goods sold plus GP here. Okay, so this can be converted. COGS find करना हो तो sales minus GP will be COGS. This is explained so that upside down also you can see. Average stock तो simple है, opening plus closing divide by 2. Average stock, opening stock plus closing stock divide by 2. बस formula यही है. क्या formula है? Cost of goods sold divide by average stock. Okay. Now next one in this category comes working capital turnover ratio. As the name suggests, it is a ratio which shows the relationship between working capital and sales. But what do we mean by working capital? Normally, it shows the efficiency of using working capital to generate revenue through sales. How far we can convert it. Okay, now working capital, first you should know what is working capital here. Working capital means current assets minus current liability. Current assets or current liability में जो difference होता है, that is known as working capital. And sales, so of course revenue from sales, you know, total assets, total sales minus this. So since first ratio we are doing sales return minus करेंगे net sales. Working capital means current assets minus current liabilities. Now working capital turnover ratio, these two components are used to create the here or get the ratio or turnover. Why? Sales upon working capital. So simple. Sales upon working capital. Please keep one thing more in mind. In question, if sales is missing, then COGS, cost of goods sold upon working capital, is also considered as a formula. Okay, we have seen once again, it is detailed out for you here. Total sales means cash plus credit minus returns. Working capital means current asset minus current liability. Net sales, COGS plus GP. COGS also is the element which can be taken. Normally, net sales upon working capital. But if net sales is not directly given and only in question cost of goods sold is given directly only, then COGS upon working capital also can be used. Let's move on to debtors turnover, next ratio, and then creditors turnover. See, debtors turnover or receivable turnover. Ratio establishes the relationship between net credit sales and average trade receivables. This is used to find out the time period is converting credit sales into cash. Okay, time period to convert credit sales into cash. Okay, so or you can even say average collection period it represents. Okay, so see, net sales का क्या होगा? Credit sales minus return. Please make it mind. Here credit sales are net credit sales. Credit sales minus return. And trade receivables means opening debtors plus BR, closing debtors and BR is given to you. So here debtors and BR both will be given. Opening trade receivables plus closing trade receivables upon 2. That way it will be found out. Am I clear? Opening debtors plus opening BR. Okay? Plus closing debtor and closing BR divide by 2. That is average trade receivable. डेप्टर्स प्लस BR ओपनिंग वाले और क्लोजिंग वाले दोनों को प्लस करेंगे, डिवाइड बाय 2 करेंगे. सो सिंपल. सो एंड फॉर्मूला, फाइनल फॉर्मूला क्या है? क्रेडिट सेल्स अपॉन एवरेज ट्रेड रिसीवेबल्स. ओके, क्रेडिट सेल्स अपॉन एवरेज ट्रेड रिसीवेबल्स. वाइस वर्सा क्रेडिटर्स के लिए होगा. नेचुरली वहां डेप्टर्स थे, यहाँ क्रेडिटर्स, वहां सेल्स था तो यहाँ परचेजेस. So that is only the reference. A ratio which establishes the relationship between net credit purchase and average trade payable, which shows the speed in which trade payables are being paid. और इसको क्या कह सकते हैं अपन? Average payment period is reflected by it. What is reflected? Average payment period. So same manner components check करें. Net credit purchase and trade payables. Opening of creditors plus bills payable plus closing of creditors plus bills payable divided by 2 will give you average trade receivables. Okay, when credit purchases are divided by average trade receivables, payables, you get creditors ratio. Okay, so this way we come to end of explanation of all ratios. This shows you payment period and collection period also last. Okay, further practically we will do about it. Thank you everyone.